Stormers Maul, they're going to score a try. Illegal sack, you get a yellow card, no penalty try.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on it?
Thomond Park.
Oh, goodness.
Here we go.
Bielle-Biarrey, the best wing in the world at the moment.
Unreal.
Sir Bryan and Bielle-Biarrey in a foot race.
Paper. Surely it should be a whole glass worth.
We're going to offer you an opportunity to come onto Boks Unpacked and apologize for what you said about the refs.
Do you honestly think I apologize for anything I say, Shimmy?
Hello everybody, welcome back to another show, the Boks Unpacked at Caprice and Camps Bay. Schalk Burger and Jean de Villiers join me after a dramatic Easter weekend of rugby. Let's first of all, let's unpack. How was your weekend? Apparently you misbehaved in this Easter weekend.
No, I did not. We were down.
How's the arm, by the way? Let's just start
No,
with
no,
it.
it's good.
Let's start with the shoulder check.
He's
We
okay.
were
He's
down,
okay.
we
okay?
were down the west coast,
Yeah?
St. Helena Bay.
Yeah.
Lovely family weekend away
Okay.
with some friends.
I heard different rumours, sorry, but I can't concur.
With
JDB,
some
just
friends.
truth.
Just tell us
I
the
mean,
truth.
it's a circle of truth. It doesn't
What?
go
That's
very
where-
far behind
That's where we were.
the Caprice walls.
And we had...
We know that naughty smile when you're hiding something back. Just let it out. There's something you did there.
You know when
Yeah.
is you sit down here and he goes, "Can I have a water, please?"
Yeah. You asked for water very quickly. What
Very
happened?
quickly.
I'm just...
Did you pollute your system?
I started training again this morning, so I'm a little bit dehydrated.
How do you train with that arm?
No, I've got one more arm and two legs. You
Doesn't
can
look
do-
like it. Yeah.
Need to work on these bad boys.
So good
Not a
weekend,
good
family
weekend,
happy, yeah?
Very nice week. Beautiful weather again down the west coast.
Yeah.
It really is such a beautiful part of South Africa.
Tell me something exciting about the weekend. Give me something to work with.
Good rugby. Did
No,
you
no,
watch
we'll
the,
get there.
Did you watch
We'll
the
get
rugby?
there. Before we get to
Where did
actually,
you-
let me just start early. Okay, let's get to Easter weekend.
Okay,
yeah.
how was your weekend?
I was at fan court with a family.
Did you see anyone,
but-
any familiar faces there?
Brits was there, Jean-Luc Kruger. They're always there. I think both those guys live there.
Do they live
You
there?
know, I bumped into JJ Engelbrecht. I haven't seen him in
yeah,
ages.
yeah.
He was there with the
And
family.
he's on the family farm out in Potensi.
Yeah, that's right,
He's a
yeah.
farmer up there.
Yeah.
Look, the guy's in good shape. He just done the High Rocks and flown up to... You guys knew there was a High Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what High Rocks
No,
is?
You did-
yeah.
You can't do High Rocks.
Did you didn't compete, eh?
So he did the...
You didn't.
Okay, next year. So he did the Two Oceans this weekend. He did the High
Are
Rocks.
you doing Two Oceans this
No, I'm
weekend?
not.
Oh, you
I
just
can't even
mentioned
run.
Two
I've
Oceans.
got one leg.
Oh, okay.
So I
How
saw
long
him.
has that been?
Neil Fullard, Tucker.
Yes.
Oh,
He was
Neil,
there,
yeah.
but I saw someone that knew him, and he was there somewhere, so I didn't see him.
Dan de
That-
Villiers?
Yeah, Dan de Villiers, you're
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
actually.
Dan
Yeah.
de Villiers,
I
yeah.
saw him there. That was it.
Sure, lots of people.
Yeah, it was nice, though. It's good. Fan court's good, though.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing family holiday.
Played a bit of golf.
I
That was
just
horrible.
realized I'm flying back on Sunday and it's the Two Oceans on Sunday.
That's going to be
Traffic
difficult.
around your house. You just got to go through the back end.
Yeah, it's going to be go the other way. Run
So-
on.
How's
did
the
you
West Coast, Scaler?
Yeah, unreal.
Sorry.
Like John said, the weather was unbelievable. We were a lot calmer than John. I was there for the week. I had to come back and forth a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oldest boy was on a hockey tour out to Durban, so I picked him up. And then, yeah, chilled weekend, great weather. So, I mean, actually spent a lot of time in the ocean,
Yeah.
on the beach,
Yeah.
a little bit on the mountain bike. And then, obviously, as we have to, you just, wash that down with a little lager of choice.
Yeah. A lot of loggers or just...
A lot of
It was
lager.
just you and the family, no mates.
We had one mate pull in, and then we've got a friend, or one of Shelley's friends,
Yeah.
like a raging redhead, and she's finally found a boyfriend at age 47. So we got an introduction. So like it was a bit of wine and brandy wine with a
Good guy.
great guy.
Yeah.
She's overachieved
Is it?
big time.
Okay, cool. But just...
Shimmy, you quickly brushed past it. You say you played golf as well.
Yeah.
And one round? How many rounds?
I played, you know what, actually, so played, what's it, Otaniqua
Yes.
on the Friday or Saturday, I can't remember. Then played that links experience on the 9 holes. On the...
Apparently that's
That's
unreal.
incredible.
Yeah.
And
Incredible.
what did
Look,
you
I donated a lot of balls.
What did you shoot?
I didn't even take a score because it was my comeback game for my leg. Just it was more of
I
a
was
physical
about to
test.
say, is this the comeback game?
Yeah.
So you didn't score. You played
No,
golf.
I didn't score.
Play rugby game.
I
but
played,
you're
it was
doesn't
my son
tries-
and my dad, so we're just messing around. I wouldn't take the score because it's just going to depress me.
Okay.
So it's better not to know. It wasn't
Okay.
good, I'll tell you that. Why?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I just want to know, are we
It's a
going to do
practice
our standing practice round before the Super Sport Shootout? Can you play
I
this?
can't play. I'm
You're
out.
Oh, you didn't get,
I'm
did you
out.
get the invite though?
I phoned Kevin Curran last week. Can't
Aren't,
play.
aren't you just coming for like
Just
the
come
fierce-
for a
the
good
fierce
time,
person?
JDV.
Yeah,
You've reached that level of entertainment because the golf doesn't really count. You can come and,
I am very entertaining. I can entertain you.
like today.
I can entertain you.
What?
No, I'm just taking a sip of my
Okay,
coffee.
okay, guys, you guys owe a lot of people, and I got abused for this unfairly because I was with you guys. But
Why did you
remember
get a-
this. Okay, now this is going to lead on to the next conversation.
There's a big rugby festival next weekend, the long weekend. I think my class and Andrews, Bishops, and it's all the
None of the rugby schools.
C division. B division. That's harsh, eh?
The my life.
That's all.
It's a long time ago.
Well, my class beat Affis this
Oh,
weekend.
no. Does
Are
that,
they- are
mean,
they-
does that mean Affis is in the B division? No.
And Paul Jim's playing office this weekend.
Oh, Paul Jim's playing Affis.
Are
Okay.
you going,
coming
Are you
weekend.
going up for that?
I'm going up for that.
So if Affis beat Paul Jim, does that mean my class is better than Paul Jim?
They've beaten Paul Jim.
Yeah.
where does Rondebosch come in? Yeah.
Unbeaten. We just smashed Pretoria Boys. We just smashed JP. Thank you very much at the Pretoria Boys High Festival.
Yeah, the Boys
Unbeaten.
Eye Festival.
No, we lost. Yeah, okay. Does
Unbeaten,
that,
but you
th- th-
lost.
Does that half rugby thing they have at Paul
That
Rest?
you claimed last year.
Okay,
That one. Are you
I'll,
talking about that?
I'll
That
unclaim
thing
it
that
if
you
you
said, like, you know what, we've just had a draw against
Okay,
Paul
guys,
Jim.
can you guys apologize to the B division of rugby?
How can you say
Naji
that?
College also. Naji College from Australia beat Grey Bloom.
Oh, really?
Did they?
When was that?
Friday or Saturday, one of the festivals. Drop kick in the last minute to win it.
Oh, no ways.
Grey Bloom's going through a hell
Yeah.
of a time there.
So
eh?
Naji College and then Hilton, I think, beat Naji College.
Oh,
Which
no
means
ways.
we upgrade Hilton and my class.
So it's Michael Arson Hilton's number 1 and 2 in the country. Have we got this right?
So,
No.
and Rondebosch still number one.
They'll always be number one in my eyes.
But how competitive?
Yeah.
Schoolboy, I mean,
Yeah, it's
you
unbelievable.
you made a joke about it now, but like,
No,
how
I'm serious
competitive?
about the apology.
Who needs? Are you
Both you guys
apologizing?
must apologize.
Why must we apologize?
Why are you the one laughing in that clip? Just play it again. Why are you laughing like that? Huh? That's wrong.
Apologize, guys. My class beat.
No, it's a hell of a result for them.
I'm so glad for them. What is
Say
that?
long- Why are you laughing?
John, you said it without even. Not
No
even
emotion.
thinking about it, just no emotion, nothing.
Well, like,
Cold.
Mike, that's
I thought
like,
it was cold, yeah.
like
Is that
that's
2 years ago?
Mike Bullows. He just does things, shoots
Mike
straight
Bullows,
up the hip.
But it was based on last year's rankings, and I think it was a fair comment then.
Yeah.
And you can't now bring stuff from last year into this year because it's a totally new year.
That's- I mean, Stellenberg's probably
They're beating everyone.
They're probably the country's number 1 at the moment,
They playing.
followed by Michael Haas and then
No,
Hilton.
I think it's Paul Russ at the top. They're still
Yeah.
unbeaten.
They play Paul Rest this weekend.
Stellenberg second. And Garsfontein as well, because Garsfontein beat Stellenberg.
Yes, that's right.
But Paul Russ is still unbeaten.
My class was there. They beat
And
Affis.
my class also unbeaten.
I don't know.
I don't know whether they're unbeaten
Hilton
or not.
beat
Jeez,
Naji
but I mean,
College.
that's
Naji College.
No.
that's, you know, that's an amazing result, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to beat Affis any year is unreal.
Yeah. Look, it's been good. Look, it's a mess. I mean, the nice thing I liked was all the schools are involved in this week. Usually you'd have the Saints week,
Yeah.
whatever. Now there's different weeks, so you get results throughout, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to... It's
But I
nice.
like-
It's
I
touring
mean-
as a schoolboy is awesome.
I mean, it's nice if your school does well for it, but I love it when it's open like this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for me, it's got to be that competitive. Just breeds a better product for all of us.
So here's the big question.
We're
But
waiting.
bring it back a little bit serious. So they had, because I know Affis played in this North-South tournament as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where they get a lot of the top North and South play against each other. So that's 2 games in 3 days. Then they go straight to the following festival. Again, there you play how many games and how many. So, I mean, you can easily have like a schoolboy kid playing 4 or 5 games in a space of
much.
10 days.
No, it's too much.
It's way too much. And so my question is like, it's not as if the quality and the physicality of those schoolboys are far is way down from call it under 20s rugby.
Yeah.
You know, and under 20s rugby, we're limiting them and saying, well, you can only play that many games in a certain amount of time. So I think the big trick will be going forward will be how do we start managing the schoolboy games and the amount of games that an individual plays.
I mean, I said it in previous
a lot.
podcasts. I've got a bit of an issue with the festivals as a whole. When you start giving up league games
For another festival.
for another festival,
Yeah.
you miss out on a normal league game in the Western Cape because you're joining a North-South festival. For me, that's unjustified. Then you'd rather say, sorry, we can't because we've got a league fixture where the entire school, not only the first or the seconds, the entire school comes to Cape Town or vice versa, and you play against participate against the school. You know, till the 6th, 7th, 8th team, how many teams there might possibly be.
Yeah.
That for me is more important than going to play 3 games
But
on a festival.
But the most competitive we've had at under 18 rugby in South Africa.
Every Stellenberg old boys come up now.
Yeah.
The guys that I never knew went to Stellenberg, now I know.
now you know.
Now I know.
I can promise you, some of those guys were like, I was convinced they were Paul Jermokes. And then Stellenberg comes and beats Paul Jermokes. Now all of a sudden he's switched. He's back now, but I'm a Stellenberg old boy. No, man, that's the only guy that's claimed Stellenberg from day one is Dan de Villiers.
There we go.
Yeah. That's the man, boys. Okay, are we by impact player? That's starting early this week.
Ooh.
Okay, incredible rugby action over the weekend. Impact, we buy impact players of the week. I'll tell you mine. Must I start?
What position?
Prop.
We all
I'll tell you what was good. That step from, is it Salesi Rayasi, used to play for the
Fullback.
other Highlanders or Crusaders, the fullback.
Yeah.
When he stepped that one try, he stepped both
Yeah,
guys
and
around
he's
the
on his
outside.
knees.
And
Yeah.
the guy didn't, I can't remember which
Yeah.
of the Bordeaux, which of the
Leicester.
Leicester players.
Leicester.
Didn't
I
even
think it was
touch
Jack
him.
van Poorvliet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepped him
Yeah, that's
clean.
right.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah.
Guys, but the props are on a
Bintama
heat here.
Funa.
Like
Funa.
every weekend, it's a prop scoring a worldie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's proper big boy versus small boy. You see that at school. Like, get the ball, nothing's on, bounce, bounce.
Yeah, you know what I liked about it? Because he carried first.
And then he had the offload.
Okay, then he had the offload. So I can't remember who carried there, but
Yeah.
it just shows the Bordeaux team as well. First cleaner in,
Yeah.
Maxime Luku.
Yeah.
Luku, the 9 secures the ball. I think they had a flanker at scrum off, plays back to Bentama Funa, bump, try.
Goes for the repeated effort.
Yeah.
Will carry offload and then. Yeah, but I love that. I mean, you can't even go past it. But like,
Yeah.
if we have to, big game in the big moment in the Saracens game. Saracens
Ben
was coming
Spencer.
on strong.
Yeah.
Knock it on their goal line, Bath goal line. One pass, Kokanasinga, Ben Spencer, or Eighthman,
Yeah.
Ben Spencer.
Yeah.
I mean, seals the game for them. Can't walk past Bielle-Biarrrey.
Bielle-Biarrey is
Bielle-Biarrey.
try. I mean,
Man on fire. So Brian will be
how's
nervous.
the one try where he's got the one-on-one, he just skims him. I mean, like this.
How's
small
that pace?
step.
But also
The
Matthew
Bordeaux team, when that
Matthew
French team
Jalibert.
plays, yeah.
Yeah,
Jalibert,
yeah, he's a crowd player.
proper player.
Bordeaux favourites? They play Toulouse next.
It's a massive game. It is.
It's almost too big for this.
When
It
time of
is,
the
when
season.
yeah,
that?
you can't have-
When is that? Is that Friday night's game?
That is Sunday.
Sunday.
Game.
I love Sunday rugby.
Last of the quarterfinal. I mean, how can you have Bordeaux to lose in the quarterfinal?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Jeez,
feel right.
That just doesn't
that
feel.
is
It's
a game.
almost yeah.
Yeah.
But the exciting games on the weekend, like how's Edinburgh running
Leinster close.
Leinster close?
3 intercepts.
3 intercepts.
Okay, let's talk about the drama.
So who have we decided? We've decided on Bentama
Yeah,
Funa.
yeah.
No, it's got to
We
be
all,
big.
we all said it.
Tamefuna.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even made the drama, guys. Toulon against Stormers.
Stade Mayor.
Stade Mayor, one of the most intimidating grounds in world rugby. Let's talk about the last 5 minutes because the rest doesn't matter.
When
Lot
we
happened.
started, like, I mean,
Yeah.
there's Stormers Maul. They're going to score a try. Illegal sack. You get a yellow card. No penalty try.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on it? Like, I mean,
That should have been a penalty try.
every single decision like that we've seen over the last 5 years, you get penalty try, bin,
Yeah.
7 points.
So that's dreadful decision, in the words of Nick Mallett, number 1.
Then
Dreadful decision.
Stormers come back then I was shouting, drop goal,
Yeah.
drop goal. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just take care of it. They have a great carry down the middle under the post. Andre Smith, 2 picks later. They're offside, not?
Yeah. That's the big debate now. Whether
But did you
Surely
see-
they
did you see
offside
both-
and you get held up.
Both teams celebrated.
yeah,
Yeah.
When they
I saw
scored the
André
try.
Gevente
André
walking back,
Gevente
and they
the-
were celebrating.
Someone else from Toulon also celebrated.
An on-field decision there was no try.
No try, yeah.
So, I mean, unless there's evidence of the ball getting grounded, then it's got to be a try. But the right decision probably not to go for the drop. But if a drop goal, that snap drop was on there after one massive carry through
almost
the
want to
middle,
get
they're
into
down to
George
13.
Floyd mode. Yeah,
Yeah, and you were so close. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a massive drop goal. But so, I mean, the whole rugby world has kind of discussed this now as well. The big question will be what do we hear from the officials? What will be the statement from there? Why was it not a try with a collapsed maul?
Yeah.
And I think that, I think that is the frustrating thing for me, is that you see something, you see a decision made, the following week it's different, but you never have conclusive kind of report back to say this is why it wasn't or this is why it was. And that's the frustrating thing for
Because,
me
like,
currently.
if there is some technicality that we are not up to speed with,
Aware
then
of,
we've
yeah.
got to, obviously, all of us has got to be educated. But if it's just a decision that for the last 5 years, if that happens, it's penalty try, yellow card. Why is it different for one game?
yeah,
That alignment, I think we've gone out of sync again. Like it's almost like a few years ago, and we're starting to get better at it, where we go yellow card now for dangerous shots because there's mitigating circumstances. A year ago, it was either red card or play on, or no, there was no alignment. So that alignment is key for us, all of us rugby people in the fraternity, to understand and enjoy the game, because otherwise there's going to be a fallout like this.
The two of you forwards, okay, former forwards, is
we
there...
got names.
Is
The two of you
the two
forwards,
of you guys.
talking down on us.
You guys. I mean, is there a case to be said that the Stormers collapsed it themselves?
Nah, that thing was running to Saint Tropez.
Yeah.
That
No, I
maul-
agree.
That maul was
I'm-
going out the stadium.
I'm
There's no way.
asking. I'm asking because I've
guy-
never been there.
that would have been-
Halangau.
Yeah.
He went and actually tackled one of the Stormers players
Stormers
from the
players.
side. That is a penalty try all day.
All day
That-
long.
you can't debate that. The Charles Oliver thing is he's on his feet, so he's playing from he's off his feet. Sorry,
Yeah.
Yes.
so he's playing from an offside
Side
position.
position.
That's a controversial one.
Yeah.
Then there's the decision making. Should the Stormers have gone for a drop? If you
Yeah.
look at the wide angle, they've got overlaps. I think both sides.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Olivon, was he allowed to play there? If it was in the act of scoring a try, then is that a penalty in
Yeah.
front of the sticks, or is it a penalty try?
That's also a penalty try.
Yeah.
Yeah, no foul play or illegal play can take place in the act of scoring a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, become a coach. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Let's go to coaching.
I mean, we've been on a few flights back where we've worked, and we flew back with the Stormers predominantly.
Yeah.
And we've got a way better gig, eh? They deep diving into that computer, and we're basically getting on the flight going like, can I have a packet of Pringles and a lager, please? And you've already forgotten what happened 2
Yeah.
hours before that.
The thing is, you need to learn from it, move on as quickly as possible, because you can't dwell on a defeat like that too long. Because you need to move on. There's the next
I know.
game. URC is the big focus, but just Dave Ribbon's immense on the weekend though.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah.
I thought he was good. I thought he was really good. I'm trying to think who else featured quite well in that game. Sasha was good when he came on.
Sasha was really good when he came
Yeah,
on.
they opened him and Imad Khan as a combination. I
Yeah,
think.
it's nice.
Got the
I
running
must say,
game
like,
going.
to Toulon's credit, like, they didn't create a hell of a lot. But
Yeah.
whenever they had a chance, Albernos, who's mid-season transfer to them, Brex, their touches and ability, like, Stormers have got a decent rush
Yeah.
to get outside and score. The skill execution is
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, like, the tries they scored was well executed.
Yeah. Nonu and John Fury, 83 years of combined rugby brilliance.
Guys,
Guys, I remember playing against Ma Nonu at Super Rugby, and I think he played his 150th game for the Hurricanes in Wellington. I mean, I'm talking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
How many games is this he played? And no, he
He's
doesn't get
40
injured, eh?
43 now.
he turns
43.
44.
Yeah.
He's a year younger than me.
What was it like playing a young man?
He's a
Nonu?
year older than you.
Guys, I can promise you now, like, I am not playing any rugby at my age.
When
There's no
when
chance.
he ran onto the field, I was like, my body's feeling sore just watching him run on.
When he was in the mood, he was in the mood.
No, he's an unbelievable rugby player.
Like, I
And
mean,
to still be going and be as competitive at that
I
age.
remember when Donna was sort of coming on the scene, like he went through a weird phase where you had like mascara, you had like makeup.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the
think
dreads,
about
yeah.
him looking scary now with the dreads. He had dreads like frosted tips. They were all like gold at the top, and then, you know, flat out mascara around the eyes.
I think the thing that made him so good is the fact that that he's a big guy, but he's not that tall.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a
No
bust,
target.
stocky, but his ability to move, the agility that he has to change
Yeah.
direction, you know, with that kind of mass that he carries around. Yeah, if he's
So
a
obviously
phenomenal
ended up at
player.
12, but back then you often played outside Tana at
Yeah.
13 or wing.
Yeah, wing as well.
Remember, we played the Hurricanes when I was at the Cats. It was him, Ma'a, Tana, the centres.
Yeah.
Remember Lomi Fauta,
Yeah, Lomi Fata.
Christian Cullen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think the other wing would have been Jonah.
I mean, when we played the Hurricanes back then, I didn't even think of the backs. I just thought of like, okay, I've got my hands full loose forwards. Collins, Sue Hollow, and then Chris Masoe.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I was like, okay, guys, I mean, you can look after them for a bit. Like, I've got my hands full here. Like
the
this
vacuum
is-
shut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, carry through the wall, they say.
Ripu also would have been there.
Yeah.
Piripu, Jimmy Goppeth.
Yeah, Jimmy
Jimmy
Coppett was
Coppett.
the fluff, yeah.
Excuse me.
That was a proper team, though. Have you played a stud mail?
No.
Scarlett, you guys were the first.
We were
So we're talking about
first.
intimidating stadiums.
Yeah, we
That's
were
what-
the Saracens. We were the first. They just came out of that hot run where they won it 3 years in a row. And the first defeat they tasted at Studmill was amazing day. We pitched up. The weather was like this, and there was a high scoring affair. So I think we put like 25 or 26 on them in the first half, and then they chased us down. And when it turns against you, there, like eventually won by 2 points, I think. The crowd gets
crowd
in
gets
behind you,
behind
and you
them,
know
yeah.
you're not getting anything from the ref. Like I got a yellow.
Another one.
Another one. Someone else got a yellow, and somehow we just hung on for dear life. But like
Yeah.
it's a proper place to go play. The atmosphere, and they get this. They've got a guy there, a stadium like announcer that just started screaming. And
Yeah.
back then, Murat Bujalal was still president.
Yeah.
Halftime, he was telling the crowd to get in, and then we ran out there. And we knew, it might change now. The vibes are a bit different because they went so quiet in that first half.
Or when you guys were on top
When
of
we
them.
were dominating.
The
yeah.
party afterwards, Saracens are known for some good celebrations.
Unbelievable. We actually flew straight back that evening, and then we just went to a pub, Lock-in. I don't think we got out there till after breakfast the next morning.
Really?
Unbelievable celebration.
But even if you think when we were at the World Cup 2 years
Yeah.
ago,
Oh, yeah,
and
we
we
had
went
some
to
good times
the
there.
Springbok training sessions over there. And
I mean, how
there was,
passionate
there was a
they
vibe
were.
just for the
Yeah.
training sessions.
And
So,
also, like, all
and it's in the centre
Oh,
of
the
town.
training at the Stad
at the
Mail.
Stad Mail,
There's
yeah.
a crowd there. Yeah.
That's the great thing about that stadium. All the great stadiums are slap bang in the heart of town.
Yeah.
So everyone goes from their lunch venue straight there. The atmosphere is electric.
What would you say the top 3 club stadiums most intimidating or the hardest ones to win?
Like, I think in South Africa, some of them can be
Loftus
hard.
was tough.
Loftus in our days was
Yeah.
brutal. Pombrunk.
That's the
that-
There used to
where I
be
hit
the
my
Falcons.
shoulder.
Yeah, that's where you hurt your shoulder.
that was the Falcons with the track.
Springs, yeah.
Yeah. Brink Stadium.
Yeah. But
Loftus, Christchurch.
Christchurch,
Um,
no one won
no
at
one
the
won at
old
Christchurch.
Jade.
Jade Stadium.
Jade Stadium.
I will also say, and just to keep the continuity on the show, that Toman Park,
Oh goodness.
Here we
Oh
go.
my God.
Toman
It
Park
can't be
back in
tough
the
if you're the home team. can't say
Toman
it's
Park.
tough 'cause
I'm
you're
just
the
saying,
home team.
Toman Park back in the day
Yeah.
was a fortress before my time. Yeah, I mean they didn't lose, especially in the old Heineken Cup.
I
They
mean,
just
Do you have a house
didn't
there,
lose
what?
it. No, I mean, it
They
was.
gave him- they gave
it
him a
was.
house,
No, it was
He's
really
got
tough.
freedom of the city. Modern day stadiums, that's hard to go. Glasgow is a tough place. You saw that with the Bulls, the
pitch,
weather
the
wise.
wind,
Saracens'
Yeah.
home ground, the Stone X is the same. It's like open. It's a racetrack, like
Yeah.
a athletics track.
La
round with it.
Rochelle,
Larish, any of the French clubs,
Yeah.
you can almost pick it
So,
up. That,
so
Bordeaux,
yeah.
Bordeaux.
So we played Claremont one year, back to back. That the old
Yeah.
Champions Cup setup where you played them home 1 week, away one. So we played them at home. Game was sort of snowed out. Played them at Tuesday. They gave us 40 points. Went there, lost by 1 point. But at that stage, I don't think Claremont lost at home for
Exactly.
80.
It was also how many games, yeah,
like
consecutively.
Buncotta had the record of 86 something games, unbeaten at home.
Yeah.
But you just have some of those that people they just don't lose.
I think Loftus here is a hard place.
Yeah.
Can I go for a bathroom break?
Yeah, cool.
Cody from Paul has sold multiple vehicles to We Buy Cars. Suspicious? I think so.
Is that a crime?
No. Where are you getting the cars?
I buy them and I sell them at the spot like a normal person.
Okay.
No, man, I'm just an accounting student. I know a good deal when I see one.
That's Excel meant. What's more stressful, tax season or selling a car at We Buy Cars?
Tax season, obviously.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Guys, the dream ends for the Vodacom Bulls out the comp, but also a tough assignment against Glasgow.
Yeah, they got super close. I mean, both that in the Stormers game, like with 5 minutes to go, like they were trailing, you think the game is done and dusted, and they found a way back into it. That conditions, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, you play up there. Normally it's just the wind, but they had the wind and the rain. I still think there's a question mark defensively about the Bulls for me. In the beginning, it's just too easy to find soft shoulders, just simple inside balls, but yeah, the Bulls have got some serious strength within that pack, and obviously great game managers. So they're out of that comp. So look for the Bulls to have a proper run in. They've got a very favourable draw in URC, so I think they're going to be hard to beat. And I think the way it looks now, there's a good chance that the Stormers might get them in the playoffs.
Is that? Oh, have you done your permutations?
I've done my. I think that's going to be the
Oracle. Okay, we'll come back. That will be a big week.
He's taken over from you, Shami, the Oracle.
He's calling it.
I think
He's calling it.
I think for both the Bulls and the Stormers, it would have been, had they won on the weekend, it would have been a difficult route to the final in any case. Okay, whereas
but
now
the Stormers would have had a home quarter, no?
Home quarter, but then again, away semi, away final. So it would have been tough either way. Obviously, you want to go as deep as possible, but now it's like, okay, focus back on the URC, and I think in a way, then it really is just the focus is just aligned on one goal, and it's only URC. Couple of 4 games? Is it four rounds left of URC?
Yeah.
And making a proper
That's
go.
more than 4, isn't it?
Go for
5,
that.
no?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
But make a proper go for that. And I think from a Bulls point of view, what impressed me was, again, and you mentioned it now, is the way that they managed that game in those conditions, the physicality that they bring, and also a little bit of more depth now as well, in not just in terms of their forwards, but also with Ambrose Papier playing really well, Andre's there, they're kind of switching around the midfield and fullback, youngsters coming in the outside channel. So with conditions also changing in Europe now, with drier fields potentially when they go over there, hopefully some tries can be scored over there. So,
is it? I mean, can a South African team win this Investec Champions Cup? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, the Stormers and Bulls had come back, or one of them had won. Either way, they would have stayed in. Stormers would have gone to Glasgow. If Bulls had won, they would have gone to Toulon. Am I right?
yeah.
Is it realistic? I mean,
I think if that becomes your main focus,
yeah,
It can be.
it can be. If any, and we're talking like SA Rugby is on board, the franchise is on board, and you go like, I want to target Europe, I think you can.
yeah.
I think the issue is this, like, at a neutral venue in Spain, can you beat Bordeaux? That's going to be your question, because the URC teams, that you can beat a Leinster. It's been done before. The unknown is, can you beat Toulouse in Europe, or can you beat Bordeaux in Europe at the moment?
Yeah.
But Scala, I think that's a definite yes. You get to a final neutral venue.
Yeah.
I think we can be very competitive and beat a team in the final. The issue is getting there.
Yeah.
So I just think the way that the competition's structured, it's going to be extremely difficult for a South African team to finish top half.
Yeah.
To then have home games to be able to get to the final. So the getting there, I think, is where I see where it's very difficult for us. A once off against a team, certainly, I back our chances, but it's just getting there. And because we are playing, you're not playing all your games in South Africa, so you have to travel.
Yeah.
And it is in the middle of another competition. That's just where I see
So
it being
they
difficult.
didn't get it over the line on the weekend, but arguably the Bulls and the Stormers should have won on the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's Glasgow's, leading the URC quite comfortably.
Yeah.
It does weaken, well, not weaken Glasgow, but then they've got to come to South Africa and they've got to fight a war on both fronts now because they've got Champions Cup quarters, semis.
Yeah.
They've got to they've got to play the Stormers and I think the Lions here. So they probably won't, you can't play a semi the following, or quarterfinal the following week and still have your strongest team here. You just give yourself a bigger chance of getting knocked out the quarters, which means Glasgow will come to South Africa
With a weakened team.
And if the Stormers had won and they've got Connaught the next week, then you've got all your strongest side here. You have to fly guys back to get ready for the next game at home. Otherwise, the guys would rock up here probably on a Monday or Tuesday, and you've got to prepare against a Connaught team that's been waiting to survive.
I think the interesting one for me in the URC top is that Leinster. How does Leinster go about it? They
don't. Yeah, they
nearly hung themselves against Edinburgh this
Yeah.
weekend. 3 intercept tries and then a Darcy Graham try. I mean, it certainly looked, or half, it felt like an intercept try. Like out of nothing, sort of picks it up, kicks it over the top and scores a worldie. Like they're not in the luxurious position where they were before, where they can just rotate that squad, and they'll have to be all hands on deck because they're not playing particularly well at the moment.
No.
either.
Yeah,
They're not convincing.
No.
I've seen more convincing
Leinster
teams.
teams, yeah.
This one for me, even this Edinburgh game, I was like, hold on.
No,
You're sort of watching and then you sit up now. You're like, okay, something interesting is happening here.
Yeah, and especially because Edinburgh were playing South African teams prior to this.
Yeah.
You're kind of comparing it to that. So back to the previous conversation, okay, had Leinster played some of those South African teams on the weekend, what would that have looked like?
Yeah.
And I think it would have been very competitive with the potential for a win. So I like the fact that it's not just one team dominating it totally. Leinster will be there and thereabouts, and we know their credentials in terms of playing in playoffs, but also getting to finals more so. They'll be there and thereabouts, but certainly the favourites for me are elsewhere currently.
14 Irish players and 1 All Black in the Leinster starting line.
I actually forgot that Rico
crazy.
Hanyani's going across there.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That was a nice try from him as well.
Yeah.
Little dummy, but also he had a proper fizz of his left hand there for O'Brien's first try. I mean, last year, like they had another guy who's not that talented, Geordie Barrett, pop up there for a couple of. He's injured, unfortunately. That's a pity. I mean, he's done an ACL by the
Has he done an
Shucks.
ACL?
Could be. He's had problems with the knees when he was at
That was
At Munster.
Munster, which is a pity for all involved because we all just love seeing him play.
Seeing him play,
Yeah.
But I mean the depth that they have. You look at the 14 Irish players and the Kiwi playing for them.
Yeah.
But then you look at the bench as well. Then they scan to the stadium of the guys not playing.
Yeah.
And then it's internationals there as well. So it does show you that to be competitive in both competitions, you need depth, and they certainly do have that.
Bordeaux against Leicester, sorry.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Good game. Nice game to watch.
I mean, what was it? 36-0 at half time.
Yeah.
I mean, that French team, that's how the French, that's why everyone's loved the French
What
rugby
did they
because
score
of that.
something like 11 tries or something?
Yeah.
The way
I mean,
that
they're
the-
just breaking records. They did the same last year, although, I mean, they're coming up against Toulouse.
That's going to be a hell of a game.
I mean, I know what
It's
I'm
too
doing.
soon though, man.
I know what I'm doing Sunday night because obviously this weekend's the Masters as well, guys.
Yeah.
Augusta.
Yeah.
I haven't got my little cap on. Yeah.
Gonna-
See where I'm going with this? I'm not going there, boys, but I'll be channel hopping. Yeah.
That
Big time.
alternate
I
button.
bet the one side, Masters the other side.
Okay, is that how you do
100%,
it?
yeah, that's how you
I
do
just
it.
alternate
Yeah. I know what I'm doing Sunday night. Yeah, it's between those
Your
two.
one arm, yeah. Okay.
with my one arm. Yeah. But is that-
Bielle-Biarrey, we need it. There's a
okay,
couple of players.
I just thought we're just going to leave Bordeaux there.
No, we're still there. Bielle-Biarrey, the best wing in the world at the moment.
Jeez, he's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. But
The tries he's scoring
on
is
the,
just
on the weekend
unreal.
as well. Sometimes there's a dead end. There's nowhere for him to go. So how does he scoot in and around it? And then obviously when he's in open space, I mean he's serious. We've got some serious gas.
But we've seen it from guys like Chesley and Kirtley as well. With that amount of pace, you beat guys. They just can't get to you. move a little bit slower, react a little bit slower, and before
we'll see with those guys, like when they run there, you think, okay, there's nothing. He's in a cul-de-sac. He steps inside and he works. If he doesn't work the first catch-up, he works the second catch-up defender. Inevitably, that's one of us, loose forwards, not John. And then he puts footwork on them. Remember, like, you can't touch them. You know, it's just unreal.
No, he's a great player. But the way that they play, Shami.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
There's a certain freedom you like about it.
I mean, that one try that Lucas scored where Bielle-Biarrey breaks through, you know, kind of checks, goes open side.
Comes
As
left,
he goes inside,
fizzes it in.
Luku at full pace, try under the
balls.
sticks, you know.
Sir Bryan and Bielle-Biarrey in a foot race.
Well,
Think very carefully about this one.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's
It will be interesting.
Brian's
He was rapid,
He was the fastest thing I've ever played with.
Shavanga.
Even race the cheetah.
Shavanga.
Shavanga, yeah.
as well.
Shavanga top end.
Yeah.
But like Brian, I mean, what year did he score the 200-meter tries against
2005, Australia.
Australia?
So there's that one he scored against the Bull against Auckland for the Bulls.
Oh,
No,
Bulls
from
as
the
well,
kickoff,
yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
But like
Nice
him, and he
one.
scored 2 against Australia, where he just looked twice as fast as the next bloke on
and
the
the touch
field.
judge.
And the touches. The touch had no chance. Yeah.
So Bryan wins it.
So I think that also the thing with Brian is, you know, his ability to change direction and not lose speed
Yeah.
was incredible.
Yeah.
And probably a Bielle-Biarrey is close to
Same.
being able to do that. Ditto for Cheslin as well, I
Yeah.
think. And Grant Williams.
World Cup next year for Bielle-Biarrey is going to be interesting because that
Yeah.
record. What's the record they try? It's Jonah then Bryan. Eh?
No,
No,
they
they're
tied.
together.
Oh, they tied.
8
Yeah.
or something. Is it?
15.
15.
15 in the World Cup.
Not one in their careers. in the
Oh,
World
okay.
Cup.
And
in
World
a
Cup
wo-
tries.
in a World Cup, one World Cup, it's
8.
8.
And Pinot almost got their last the French World Cup. He
Yeah.
got to 6 or 7.
He's not even in the mix anymore,
Yeah.
guys.
He played at 13.
Yeah.
But he was getting close to the all-time
Yeah.
try record. Well, not close, but like.
Guys, Saints versus Cust.
Is that it for Bordeaux?
Do you want to,
I think they deserve more.
Okay.
I watched a bit of
Okay,
that.
move on.
I've run out of bandwidth there.
I watched a bit of that game.
What, Northampton?
So,
I like watching Saints, I must say. They
Yeah, I
play a
mean-
nice brand of rugby.
Proper game, 49-41.
Yeah.
Big moment there, a little clean on
Yeah.
Henry Pollock.
Yeah.
Yellow. I don't think it was a yellow card worth, but there was a bit of afters I've seen. Like that.
Yeah, 3 yellow cards. Look, Pollock's going to get it every game.
Did you see Cust's right winger?
Yeah.
He must be the fastest oak alive, that bloke. I mean, that last try he scored where they just cross kick to him, he picks it up on the bounce and then puts the afterburners on. He looks twice as fast as the rest of the people on the field.
It'll be interesting to get the fastest player ever recorded, because then you take like a Ngwenya.
On like GPS.
Yeah, Ngwenya, running Sir Bryan.
Where are we heading with this?
No,
We were saying that
I'd love to know who the
Tonderais will
actual-
be there.
Rupeni.
Yeah, Rupeni, yeah. Dada,
Penny.
yeah.
Obviously, Brian. I think
No,
there's been so many. Sorelli
like
Bomba.
in his like when Rokokoko was
Yeah.
young, his
Yeah.
thing also just was in a different league regarding how quick he was.
I'd love to know what that is. What is
What's
top
the-
end
From the Wallabies, who'd be there from Australia? We haven't looked. Who's the species?
Obviously, then you go Colin Isles as well, and
Yeah,
Oh, those are all the sevens guys
do you
there. Yeah.
include sevens guys or not? What about the Bath winger, Arundel?
Arundel's rapid.
Yeah.
He scored a cracker on the weekend.
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, he scored
I
a good
love
try.
that set play. Like it's quite boring off the sit in the middle. They play the lock so they look like they're going to set it up. The 5 lock just fizzes it off his right and he picks a hole there. Like unreal.
Cool, guys. European Challenge Rugby. Sharks out the mix, lost to Connaught.
They did.
Yeah, Sharks.
Yeah,
Not a good season, let's be honest.
No,
but
also
also-
not a good
Coach left halfway through.
Not a good performance on the weekend, but it does make them dangerous, I think, for
URC.
to make a top 8. And the problem is they're going to end up roundabout where the Lions.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where it is. 51, 52, 53 points. Lions has got a brutal end to it. Sharks has got an easy end to it. But they're a frustrating side to watch. We've been saying it for quite some time.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of the thing is we talk about the conditions in Durban, but outside of Durban, it can be frustrating also.
Yeah.
So you take the weather away, it's just you're still struggling. You know, it was there, and then JP had a good run. They beat the
Yeah.
Stormers home and away. I think they won a third one somewhere. They beat Munster quite convincing.
And
So
then-
it
and
looked
then-
like something's
Yeah.
building.
They
But
had
then
a
they
great
go
job
down.
again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Bulls took care of them by 40 odd points or whatever it was
Oh.
Yeah.
at Loftus, which I mean, obviously the Bulls can do. I mean, they're a hard side at home. I don't know where to for the Sharks because they've got some proper players like Evans come back on the weekend. Can they make a run for the top 8? But then do we see them go any further in the URC if they don't play at home? Can they go on the road? And the question is, I mean, the answer is probably yes with that team, but it's got to be a dedicated game where it's set piece battle.
Yeah.
Set piece battle. They've got to be completely dominant at breakdown, scrums, and lineouts for them to create 22 entries, and that's where they can play. As soon as it becomes a tactical game in between the two dead areas, between the 22s, about how do we kick, how do we exit, how do we play, how do we put sides under pressure. Unfortunately for them, like the error rate's just too high. They can't sustain pressure.
And you know, the Sculler, we mentioned the Bulls and the way that they managed the game in Glasgow. I just never see that from the Sharks, in that maybe, you know, you'd have the odd game where they can do that, but the consistency in being able to get a victory by the way that you play, sticking to your structure and then kind of grinding it out and getting a try and then kicking your penalties and then eventually getting the win. I mean, they were in it up until half time, and then after half time again, you know, some soft try scored defensively, maybe a lapse here or there. And it's just that consistency that is extremely frustrating when you do watch them, because the players they've got amazing players, but the results just doesn't.
So, like, say for example, you watch the Sharks, and I mean, maybe we're spending too much energy on them, but it's because of the potential that they've got.
Yeah,
if
that's
they
the
pick a
first-
side.
yeah.
That's why we get frustrated. They'll, through a game, will have 6 penalty advantages from scrums. They have a free shot, a free play. Of those 6 free plays, they won't execute one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's not one time where you think, what a lovely set.
Yeah.
They'll knock it within 2 or 3 passes, and I think that's just adds to our frustration. Whether a free play is something that you not succeed a lot, but the better sides with a free play are putting you away.
And also, I mean, I've mentioned so many times, you can have a dominant scrum, you can have Oxenchair, you can have Vincent, and you know, even the other guys that they've got good scrummages, and you can get dominance from scrum point of view, but that doesn't reflect on the scoreboard. You know, you need to be able to get points on the board. And they're just not able to convert that dominance into points on the board and then victories. So,
Yeah. But JDV, is it coaching or is it the players? Because they've got the squad.
I think it's a bit of both.
Because they're different players when they wear a green jersey. There's direction. So you look at the Bulls. The Bulls, 14 Springboks. You know, we can go through each one individually.
Yeah.
Against a Scottish team. Now, with a Bok performance in that weather, it's a different result. With
Yeah.
14 Springboks against, I don't know whether, let's say 13, 14 Scottish guys.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Sharks. There's a lot of Springboks in that team.
Yeah.
So it's either you look at the squad and the players, because you put the green jersey on those guys, it's a totally different outlook.
But there's been no consistency.
Yeah.
Performance, but also personnel. You know, so how many coaches have we now seen? You know, it was Neil Powell, then Plumtree, now JP, then, you know, so they've got changes all the time, different voices. So there's no like 2 to 3 year stretch where you're actually building a squad where it's the same voice, where you're getting better and better.
Yeah.
You get rid of the guys you don't want there. You got your own coaching team that you want, and you kind of build towards something. I just haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And that's maybe a planning from top down, and saying that, okay, you know, what do we want? From a player pool point of view, you know, how are we recruiting? Is there a structure that we are following in terms of we need this kind of player, so let's go out and find someone, rather than being kind of reactive. You know, someone's available in the market and then you just take him. So I think from that point of view, they need to get the structures right, and if they do, then I think there can be some sort of consistency.
It will be interesting if obviously JP gets his first full season next year. Like, you take over
Pre-season,
you know, you get that new coach energy. They go on a run of 3, and I think that break actually came. That 2-week break came at the wrong time for them. You know, that took some of their momentum away.
Yeah.
But I think next year, first full season, you inherit a coaching staff. You work with them. You look at your stats. You look at what the team's needing. At the moment, obviously for them, their error rate's through the roof, and obviously you think their attack's quite outdated. Where does the change come from the back of that? Like, is there change in personnel? Do you get someone in to give a different visual, different voice? Does the players respond to that? And then for the players, like John said, you need the Springboks to stand up.
Yeah.
So all of those Springboks, you've got to realize with that squad, if you languishing down in 12th or 13th or 14th on the log, trying to make the top 8 by winning 4 in a row, they've got to contribute. Next year's a World Cup year. You've got to try and contribute for the Sharks first and foremost, and then for the Springboks, unless, that's not the goal of the modern day rugby play. Like, we always thought that, like, if the Stormers and the Bulls and the Sharks and the Cheetahs and everyone plays well, the Springboks are in a better place.
Yeah.
It's quite hard, I think, to turn it on for internationals, but not playing well for your franchise.
Yeah. Because we've got good squads. I mean, the one team that is firing, you see a lot of hunger, is the Lions.
Yeah.
And that's probably the one team without a lot of Springboks. But Chivas, those guys give it.
And I think they've been lucky in terms of injuries.
Yeah.
There's been an element of consistency if you look at their
There's two
team
young
sheet week in and
centres,
week
yeah.
out, so...
Normally, like, Ruan Venter hasn't got a lot of minutes on his belt. He's pretty much played every game for the last 6 weeks. But also, that's a team that's been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Every time you work on it, there's
Consistency,
a player who's played 100 games for the Lions, or his 50th, or his 150th.
Yeah.
But I'd love to, coming back to the Sharks, I'd love to see them go on a roll now. If they can
They were
do
good
that.
last year. Last year they played. Remember
Exactly.
they got
So-
to the quarters or semis.
Yeah.
Quarters. I think they played the Bulls.
Yes.
Of URC.
Of URC, sorry, yeah.
Well, I mean, they should have beaten the Bulls.
Yeah. It was a tight game, man.
And it went set piece battle, and they dominated. And the thing about the Sharks and their body types they've got there, I mean, you go Andre Estrand, you go Vince Suchuka's coming around the corner, Sia Khaleesi's coming around the corner, you've got Evan Esabeth in the line.
yeah.
Like, you know what's coming. How do you stop it? The problem for them is there's a small lack in detail that there will be an isolated breakdown, or it's a handling error, or it's just they don't have the skill set to really unlock you, even though they do put you in the pressure cooker. And that's why I say for the playoffs, when they get there, they're going to be a hard side to beat. Like, I would hate to play the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
if they turn
can
it on,
And everyone fit. I mean, if you go Grant Williams or Jaden Hendrickson, you go Jordan 10, Orsia Masuku 10, Edwin van der Merwe, Makazola Mapimpi, Esteza,
It's a bloody
Hooker,
good team.
Fussy.
It's an incredible team.
I mean, that's
Boks,
a
Vincent,
that's a proper
Bongi, Eben, Van Heerden,
Sia.
Chitukas, Sia.
other
There's
two
nothing wrong
players.
with that team, yeah.
It's an unbelievable
It's a
side.
proper
I said
team.
Chitukas. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The Shimbin. Look, it's pretty. Look, okay.
This is
The worst thing to happen in rugby this weekend: a bad tackle performance result. Mine's the refereeing performance at
agree.
the end.
I mean,
Michael, I was winning.
Afis.
I'm waiting for that apology.
I'm sorry.
No, we got in here. The first two things we said to each other was, how many calls in that refereeing performance?
Yeah.
And the second thing was Bento Mafuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the standout thing. So
Yeah.
Shim, I don't think it's.
There's no
up for-
Shimbin,
It's
eh?
not up for discussion.
But it's again so frustrating, and we shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
With the technology we have these days, and having 4 officials work on a decision, if you slow down and send it up to the TMO, we should not be having this discussion.
But
After the game.
there is an argument for having an experienced guy in the TMO box.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, big time, yeah.
If there's an experienced guy there, I can almost guarantee the decisions would have been different.
How about you have 10 guys in there?
Yeah.
But this
You have
goes-
10 guys in there. We don't have to see them.
Yeah.
You don't have to put more pressure on them because that's the only time where the game gets slowed down, where all the focus is now on those guys. So have 10 people. They can sit wherever they want in the world, but get the right decision made and use technology if you have to.
I mean, get the best TMO. I don't care of age or
Yeah.
ilk. Get the best TMO involved. And it doesn't have to be at venue mostly. It's in Europe. It can be at the
Doesn't have
central
to be.
venue. Fly everyone into one room and make the right decision.
Yeah.
But now we run a referee to a little pixelated. He can't see.
Can't see what's
He
happening.
can't see
Yeah.
if the guy hit is on the shoulder or head. He's got to be told that. So that's got to be happening where there's enough cameras, and the right decision must take place.
And the crowd noise also. All right, guys, the Betway section.
What
Very
happened there?
tight.
Yeah.
Very tight. Okay, cool. So let me just...
Okay, cool.
Out of a pathetic start, out of a possible 30 points between us, we only got one. And that
1
was
point.
Jean spreading his bets by
No, but I'm
predicting
gonna-
Toulon. You said Toulon would win.
Yes, but I'm going to add to that. Okay. By the
Oh, it's come
time,
alive at the end.
by
right?
the time we made those predictions, we did not have the team sheets, right?
Yeah.
Who did I say would score the first try in that game?
I don't know.
Baptiste Serrand,
Yes.
He was injured.
scrum off.
Yeah.
So he did not start.
Yeah.
So who started?
Scrum off.
Ben White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who scored the first try?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Ben
you want
White.
more points?
Of course, I want more points.
Okay, we'll give you more points. Debate done.
Okay.
Over. No
Thank
need to
you.
fight. Calm down. Relax.
Thank you.
Breathe.
He's the one.
How many? How
Wants
many
to arm
points?
wrestle you for as
Exactly.
well. I left the arm-
Jeez, you wanna
left-handed
fight?
arm
How many-
wrestle.
I'll fight you for it.
With what?
No, everything I've got. So how many points do I have now?
10. Okay.
10.
What, at least 10
Collectively, the three
points?
of us?
Yeah, 10, yeah.
Okay.
So Scala and I have to face a forfeit. Scala, you're going to start by doing, well, no. A Bok bomb. Actually, can you bring it here? Bring it for the Bok bomb.
What is a Bok bomb, guys?
I don't know.
Holy cow, it's a big glass as well.
Oh,
So I forgot about this part.
so we're making a... Thank you, waiter.
So what,
What
do you have
if-
to
what-
mix
what-
all, does
what's-
he have to mix all of that up?
What's on the
So we
left
can mix
there?
it.
I think it's tomato sauce.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce, mustard,
That's vinegar.
Is that
and a bit of beer.
and a bit of beer? And is that milk?
Okay, Shimmy, because I'm the winner,
Yeah.
do I get to
You mix it, yeah.
Yeah, but because I only have one arm,
I'll help you.
I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay. You tell me how you want me to mix it up.
Now just mix it how you feel.
You got to get all ingredients involved there.
Okay, you can. No, that's too much. That's way too much.
You
Take
got
a
a
sip.
prank call.
Take a sip. Take a sip of the beer.
Vinegar. No.
Take a sip of the beer.
When are you prank calling them?
Make it we want it less.
When are
No,
you?
that's fine. You've been bottling.
Just go a little bit of each.
Okay, that's way too much.
no, jeez. When, like, surely it should be a whole glass worth. Jesus, that looks amazing. Paper, thank you, Shimmy.
Okay, nice teaspoon. Wow.
Holy cow! And you want me to drink the whole thing?
No ways. No.
No, you can't just take a
No,
sip,
take-
Scala.
Can I go to there?
No, take one sip.
Smell that thing quickly.
Okay.
My word. Actually, quite decent. You want to have a taste?
No
Jimmy,
thanks.
please
No, I'm
taste
alright.
it.
Look, have you had a sip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't
Is
take
that
it.
a Bok bomb?
Is that a Bok? You can't down
You know,
that.
like if someone's
disgusting.
had like made a Bloody Mary, but you convinced something in the Bloody Mary is off.
Okay, let's see
that's
what's
it.
my one. I've got
That's what it is.
a prank call Nick or Flick.
Anyone of
Okay,
you
if I
want
call
the
Flick, you have
taster
to
there?
tell him I want to be kicking
Robbie, I
coach.
think you deserve one of these.
You're gonna put him on speaker.
Yeah, I'll put him on speaker. I got to call Flick and tell him I want to be UCT kicking coach next year for the Varsity Cup. I'm going to give up Super Sports, Boks, Unpacked, everything to be UCT kicking coach next week.
Are we listening in?
Next year, sorry. Or the other option is to call Nick and say, listen, his behavior on the weekend wasn't great with the
Yes.
dreadful decision.
Yes.
Should I call
Don't do
Nick?
that.
Which one should I do?
To Nick and tell him that
Yeah?
some guys from Supersport phone you.
No, I'll say, listen here. And Nick, we're going to give you the opportunity on Boks Unpacked to come apologize
Yeah,
for your behavior on the
Because
weekend.
the viewers are very unhappy.
How do you think the big fella's going to take it, Shrim?
He might abuse me, but let's see.
Speaker, put it on speaker.
The volume's up. Nick, how you doing? You well? Good. Do you have you've what? You've just recovered?
Yeah, no, geez, I went in for that for a heart ablation and it worked quite well. I mean, But I caught a fucking savage chest infection, so I've been on antibiotics for the last 10 days. So I've still got 4 days to go, and then I'm through it.
Okay, Nick.
Otherwise, good.
Yeah, Nick, just a quick one.
Got another call.
Your heart might hurt again now because we're going to offer you an opportunity to come on to Boks Unpacked and apologize for what you said about the refs.
Do you honestly think I apologise for anything I say, Shimmy?
Nick, we're doing a show now, so it's a prank call.
Apologise, Nick. Please
Apologize, Nick.
There's absolutely no way. It's just I was quite gentle on you.
I was quite gentle on him. Okay, thanks, Nick. We'll see you soon. Cheers. There's absolutely no way I
Absolutely
apologize.
not.
No. Should we try Flaky?
I think that's enough.
That's enough.
Jeez, you nearly got the big fella's heart going there.
Yeah.
Ricky.
Oh, look,
Shame,
hopefully
he's sick,
he's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, he's fine. Sounds good. Though. Sounds energetic. Okay, guys, let's go. Each of us are going to predict 4 things from the coming game. We need to choose a game. Sorry. So Betway match of the weekend. So we got Bath versus Northampton Saints, Glasgow versus Toulon, Leinster versus Sale Sharks, and Bordeaux versus Toulouse. So winning margin, man of the match, first try scorer, and winning team.
Well, let's go game.
All the games.
Toulouse Bordeaux.
Toulouse Bordeaux, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Jeez, now you're adding value. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Winning margin.
First, who's winning? I'm going Bordeaux.
Going Bordeaux.
I'll go Toulouse.
Oh. To win.
Yeah.
Remember last year?
Toulouse to win.
Remember last year they played each other how many times?
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times?
Yeah. I'll go Toulouse to win this one. Man of the match.
Matthew Jalibert.
I wanted to say the same, but just because he said that, we've got to go somewhere else. Maxime Luku.
I'll go
Dupont.
Thibaut Flamand.
You love him.
Okay.
Thibaut Flamand.
Thibaut Flamand. First try scorer.
Louis Bielle-Biarrey.
Okay, Dupont. Okay, and winning team, we've already decided on that.
The margin. Do we need to do the margin
The
as
margin? No?
A winning margin, sorry, yeah.
well?
I said Toulouse by 5 points.
I say Bordeaux 7-14.
Yeah, I wanted to say 10, but let's go. Yeah, I can't change that. That's my gut feels 10 points.
Yeah, more than 7.
Okay, we've got the predictions. Thank you very much, everybody. That is it for the Boks Unpacked Investec Champions Cup quarterfinals this weekend. No South African teams in it, but plenty of rugby to be watched. All on your World of Champions Super Sports. Thank you very much to Caprice, Schalk Burger, Jean de Villiers for another episode of the Boks Unpacked.